I know you face obviously a really good pitcher on that side tonight, but are you concerned at all that the lineup is ever too feast or famine just with the home runs and the strikeouts? I know it's been a high strikeout total the last 5 or 6 games.
I mean, that's always a concern to a point. My issue wasn't with the strikeouts early. My issue was more with I thought late we got, I don't want to say non-competitive, but I felt like we allowed the emotion of the moment. We were chasing pitches down that are they're never strikes. They're never strikes. And I would say this too. As you go through your process, as you develop an offense, okay. So first you have to create an identity. Then you have to create the physicality. You have to get the mechanics of the body in the right position. Be able to do some things. There's a progression to creating a truly elite offense. And so we've gotten to a certain point in our progression offensively where we hit a bunch of home runs, extra base hits, hit balls hard. The next piece of the progression for us is you see there's always move and counter move. So in baseball, at a high level in college baseball, you get in professional baseball, there's always a counter move. And so the counter move the last couple of weeks has been just throw every pitch off speed. Just throw 70, 80% off speed pitches and force them to react to that. Because first it's like fastballs away. Well, that's great. Like we'll bludgeon those. And it's like, all right, fastballs in. And then we'll bludgeon those. And then it's like, all right, so the next move is throw all breaking balls. See if they can adjust to that. So it's a constant adaptation. And that's what we have to be able to do is we have to understand that that's what's happening and then be able to adjust and move from that. So that's where we are right now. And so it's not shocking or surprising that we strike out a lot early and then we fix that problem and then someone else adjusts back to that. And now we have to adjust back. And, when that's going to be, I don't know, hopefully by tomorrow. But that's going to be our next task. And it's something that we've talked about and we'll continue to work on. But it's the natural ebb and the flow of creating an offense that doesn't have holes. Unless you want to just have an offense, and this is the decision you have to make as a coach. You have to make a decision. Are we going to be the slappers? Are we going to be the one that just anchor down on top of the plate and no load and try to slap it around, hope somebody makes an error and hope I can shoot a ball down the line? And that's very college baseball, esque. And the issue is that, that doesn't always show up. It's the ball goes foul by foot one way or the other. And secondarily is you're not preparing guys to play professional baseball, which is when guys come to Indiana, they want to play professional baseball. They want to have a chance to go win at a national level, go to the World Series. They want a chance to play professionally. And so that's our job, is to teach them to do that. And so what our guys are doing right now is learning to be professional hitters. And so we have to take the next step and be able to allow someone to bounce breaking balls and spin a bunch and take. And then when they hang one, bang it and get back on fastball time. And that's kind of the next step. I know it's a long-winded answer, but it's a multifaceted, it's a multi-layered issue we have to face.
Paulie gave you a pretty solid 7 innings. You had 90 pitches going into the 8th. What were your thought about that? What were you thinking about that?
Well, that's right in Paulie's wheelhouse, right? I feel comfortable with Paulie up to like 110, and we felt he'd finished strong, and our bullpen is a bit thin today after Lloyd this past week and with the back tightness, and Manus throws 3 innings on Tuesday, and so you're trying to win the game that you're playing, but at the same time the ripple effect down the road, how that affects not just the bullpen, but how it affects the starter. And so we got in a position where the double, and then you get a chance, and they had several 2-strike hits, and I think maybe the single there was, and then you get to bases loaded, and I don't necessarily want to bring in Braden Scott with the bases loaded and nobody out. And so we go ask Justin, or Justin goes and asks him, how do you feel? You feel okay? You feel like you can do this? And he said, yeah, I got one more in me. And the guy shoots a ball down the line. It's 6 inches from fair or foul, and that's the way it goes. But I thought Paulie was fine. They were better than us with 2 strikes. The majority of their hits were with 2 strikes, 0-2, 1-2, not like 2-2 full count, 0-2 and 1-2 counts, and that's baseball. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. But I thought Paulie was fine. His stuff was fine. He felt fine. It just it's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, their guy Meyer had 125 pitches.
Yeah.
Did you think, obviously very breaking ball heavy, and did you guys think did you think your guys chased too many of those?
I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's hard. It's good. It varies, different kinds of breaking balls, and yes and no. I mean, that guy's going to pitch for a long, long time.
Yeah.
My issue wasn't necessarily with him. My issue, because I thought we battled him. I thought we got the pitch count up. We got in some good situations. We had guys on base. We had guys on base with our dudes up several times, having competitive at bats. And there's been many a time where we thump one and the game changes and we go on to win that. And we just didn't do that tonight. But I thought more, against the big lefty, there were some situations where we're swinging breaking balls that were never a strike. And the last righty, there were some breaking balls that, was kind of a little bit out of character and not what we want. But against him, I thought we were fine. We battled it. You didn't come through for it.
What makes Gorski such an effective hitter? And certainly he's been effective the last couple of weeks.
He's incredibly physically gifted, and so you look at his length, but also his vascularity, his twitch. So your bat speed is created, it's a couple different ways. One is with length and quick twitch, and he's got that. And so he can do so many things right and have success. He can do so many things wrong and have success because he's more talented than the majority of the guys that he's facing. When he's able to stay on time and able to work back to the big part of the field like he did today, and he has in the last couple of weeks, he matches the physical ability with the approach and the mentality to go out and have an effective at bat. When he puts those two things together, he's a dynamic special player. He's a really good base runner. He's a good base stealer and a good base runner. So there's a lot of things that make him an effective player, but I think his ability is really the bedrock of it. And then as his approach continues to grow like it has, he puts those two things together. He's got a bullseye on his back. He has, there's a Batman and there's a Robin, right? And that's just the way it goes. And he's Batman. You look at him and Matt Lloyd, they're Batman. And it's much more difficult to be Batman than be Robin. And I know that may sound a little bit comical, but no pun intended. But but that's how life goes. That's how life goes, and that's how baseball works. And so, Matt Gorski and Matt Lloyd get the best pitches every day in and day out, and they will here. And if they play at the next level, they'll get the best pitches every day at the next level too.
He made a heck of a defensive play. They ruled it a trap. What I didn't understand was the awarding of third base. That made no sense to me.
Yeah, if you find where that's at, you just let me know, and we can discuss that later. It's one of those things where I walk out and I say, you can't just award him third base at your discretion because you assume that. If he called it or not, I don't understand how the guy that's standing 20 feet away misses a call that the guy 220 feet away makes, but that's not my decision and I can't do anything about it. And so I made that point, and he said that's the rule. By definition, we're required to do that. And I'm not an encyclopedia. I don't have that rule book on me in that moment once the play moves on. But he said that was the definition of the rule, and at that point,
That he gets the base?
That he gets the advancing base. So.
All right.